At some point in our evolution, we became conscious. What I mean is, we developed the capacity to step out of the moment and reflect on what was happening. We started running scenarios in our mind, imagining what might happen next based on recollection of what happened before. If you think about it, thought gave us the option to fail in our minds before acting in the physical world, which in turn improved our chances of being able to survive and achieve our goals. Roll forward to today, and we've developed a pretty sophisticated capacity for reflection and intentional action. We can look back across time and consider which behaviours have been more or less helpful, and admittedly with some effort sometimes, develop them to suit our needs. In social contexts, we reflect on each other's behaviour too. We gain insights into what works more or less and in which situations. We can communicate about our values and strategies and settle on sets of rules and guiding principles that help us respond effectively to challenges and opportunities we face. And for all the behaviours that failed across time, some have proven so valuable for dealing with specific situations in specific contexts that they've been passed on from one generation to the next, with people evolving them along the way. Sociocracy 3.0 is our endeavour to define and share some of the more successful behaviours we've observed. In particular, we're interested in behaviours that have proven useful in enabling people in organisations to really get the best out of collaboration and grow agile and resilient organisations where both the people and the organisation can thrive. Hi, my name is James Priest, and along with Bernard Buckelbrink and Lily David, we're the co-developers of Sociocracy 3.0, also known as S3. Back in 2014, we took a look at a number of methods and frameworks that people were experimenting with in their endeavours to grow more effective organisations. We examined various approaches including the Sociocratic Circle Method, Holacracy, lean manufacturing and lean startup, Scrum, Kanban, to name just a few. We wanted to see how people interacted with and used these tools in their working lives, and what we observed was that over time, and in most cases, people kept what worked, adapted or discarded what didn't, and developed their own bespoke ways of doing things. So we took a more granular perspective to understand what specific patterns make up these methods and frameworks. When I say pattern, I mean a process, practice or guideline that provides a template for successfully navigating specific contexts. We described these patterns as best we could and put them together into a menu of options that people could consider and choose from, according to their specific organisational needs, and this is essentially how S3 was born. It's important to understand that using S3 is a means to an end and not an end in itself. The point isn't to implement S3 as some kind of whole system approach, but rather to pull in patterns on an as-needed basis when you realise your habitual ways of doing things are bringing about consequences you'd rather avoid, or they're failing to meet your needs or achieve the results you'd intended. Learning about S3 helps you discover more about yourself as well. You become increasingly aware of how you habitually do things, and at that interface between your habits and alternative patterns that S3 provides, you can more consciously determine how to proceed. If there were an endgame in terms of pulling in S3, it's about developing a coherent approach for how you work together and building organisation-wide agility so that you can respond quickly and effectively to the challenges and opportunities that you face. It's about growing a culture of collaboration that complements people's natural desire for purpose, autonomy and mastery, so they want to engage and take responsibility for the course of the organisation. It's about learning to pay attention to what's happening and needed as new situations arise and bringing more consciousness to how you'll respond. Utilising the collective intelligence that's distributed throughout the organisation to make smarter decisions and use your limited time and resources wisely. As people get to know S3, they often say it's kind of obvious, or we're sort of doing these things already, and it's true to a point. The question is though, are you aware of the patterns behind your behaviour, and are you able to choose and apply them intentionally in those moments when it benefits you to do so? Learning about S3 helps to make these patterns conscious, so in moments when your habitual approach fails to bring about the results you desire, you can consider alternatives that S3 has to offer. And if some of those alternatives prove helpful over time, you can practice them and maybe even turn them into your new habits. If you appreciated this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to keep track of new videos we'll be posting about Sociocracy 3.0 in the future, subscribe below. To find out more about S3, check out sociocracy30.org, and to keep up to date with various ways to learn more, Visit us at learns3.org. See you again soon.